Tuesday, July 26, 2022, and we've got a couple days to catch up on. Yesterday, during most of the midday, I was without internet because living in the country is fun, I think. Um, anyway, I wanted to catch up on a few things. First of all, yesterday's episode of The View featured Charlamagne the God, and I've seen him before on some other programs, and I've caught his program a few times. And yes, 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 1,000 times yes. We need more of him on television. Um, just to like very clearly uh the hero worship of Liz Cheney, and to break that down so quickly and succinctly that just upholding the Constitution and refusing to lie about an election does not make you a hero. She's doing the function of her job. I understand that it takes courage to stand up to the Republican Party at this point, but that's really such a fucking low bar. That the Republican Party is such a group of liars and propagandists, and divisive culture war creeps, not to mention racist and homophobic and misogynist and all those other things that they're kowtowing to their base. So he is right on the money, and as we've talked about before here, 100%, if we don't shore up our elections and make sure that there is access to voting, that the voting rights bill passes, and that we make sure that our electoral process is secure, we're fucked. And we're heading down that road with the Supreme Court. So we need to make sure that it's legislated, along with codifying same-sex marriage and access to contraception and all of the legal precedents that the Supreme Court is clearly coming after. We need to shore up, and God willing, we make it through these midterms with still a majority in the with the Democrats. Then fuck yeah, expand the Supreme Court. I don't know what the fuck Joe Biden was doing. He put in a commission or a group to study the court when he first got elected, and somehow that went nowhere. He just sort of disbanded it. I have a feeling that their recommendation was to expand the court, and he was like, I don't want to do that, because he doesn't want to seem too pushy, which is always the Democrats' problem, is that we don't want to seem too pushy, that we're taking over. We need to fucking take charge, because if we don't, the other side's going to do it, and we all know what that means. Gilead. So there's that, and the apparently the DOJ is now ramping up their investigation in January 6th. At least we know more publicly, in that Mike Pence's chief of staff has testified with them. So it does appear as though they're moving a little further afield than just the insurrectionists and the terrorists that attacked the Capitol, but the people who planned it, and the people who funded it. So I'd like to see Ginny Thomas interviewed by the DOJ. I'd like to see Ginny Thomas at the January 6th committee. I think there is more than enough grounds for impeachment for Clarence Thomas off the Supreme Court. But again, it just feels like the Democrats aren't going to do enough until until we lose in the midterms. I don't want to say it in that kind of terminology, in that defeatist, because I want to believe that we can pull this out. I've been sending money to Senate campaigns in like Missouri and where the hell else, because we fucking need actual Democrats in the Senate. We need an actual majority, because Manchin and Sinema aren't doing it. So that's going to be an uphill battle, but we'll see how that goes. At least there's a glimmer of hope that the DOJ is continuing to investigate, and I know that they do things privately, but there isn't a lot of time. And if Garland is going to be afraid of, you can't indict or investigate someone who's running for president, let alone someone who's a sitting president, then Donald Trump announcing he's running for president, and the timing of that is a huge risk factor at the moment. So let's step that up. And apparently Trump, ever the patriot, is letting this Saudi-backed golf tournament happen in Bedminster at his golf club. So protests on that. I mean, what else more do you need to be shown that he is not an American patriot? He is he's a grifter. Although I suppose that's, an American trait as well. Anyway, I just wanted to catch up on those couple of things. And since the ladies are getting lit this week, which is what they always do, they did their summer reading lists that last week before they go on hiatus. And it seems very clear that this Alyssa, Farrah, Fowler, Griffin woman is going to get that job. She's been there the most often. She's there on the final week before hiatus. She seems to get along with everybody. She is a former Trump White House administration employee who has done a 180. One of the most vocal people against him now. Doesn't excuse her being there to begin with, but whatever. It seems like she may be the one who's getting that job. But back to the ladies are lit. Ladies get lit. I thought I would throw in my summer reading, my friend Blair Fell's book, The Sign for Home. This is a wonderful, wonderful book. It's a love story. It's an inclusionary tale. It's a cautionary tale about people trying to protect someone that they love, and then in the process actually hurting them by controlling too much of their aspects of their life. There's deafblind. There's wonderful things to learn about the deafblind community. There's gays. There's a love story. There's a fabulous academic who's quite a character. Anyway, highly recommend. It's a lovely read. They're short chapters, which I like, because you can read it and then go away and then read it and go away and read it and go away. But you'll still read it pretty quickly. Anyway, that's today's little soliloquy. I'm still getting over my COVID. I seem to be fine, but the lingering sore throat and coughing. And someday I assume I will test negative again.